Okay, so the commander in thief, and you think that's a good way of putting it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's extraordinary, as I said to Don last night, that he's been president February, March, April, almost 5 months. And
almost a half a year.
Almost a half a year. The level of corruption and thievery is just unending. It's just, you don't even know where to start to correct it. Yeah. It's so difficult and complicated.
What were you saying to me last night when you were asking me about what's going on? Because Tracey was on a plane all day trying to get to me yesterday, flying across the country in the bad weather. And I was filling you in on what's going on. I said he had this crypto meeting. I talked to you about the bill passing, whatever. And you said, and I talked to you about what the media folks with the reports on ABC, saying, calm down. That's the reporting from the Daily Beast.
Mean that Bob Iger is telling The View and people like that to basically shut up and can their anti-Trump views?
And you said you were walking out of the door and you said it's almost as if he's God. Like, what did you say?
I said it is as though he's God and there's no stopping him. And every day he can literally do and say, or I should say and do whatever he wants with zero to less repercussions, if that's possible.
Yeah, with impunity.
With absolute impunity. It's not just the MAGA folk, it's everyone now who's just, I think people have just said, I give up. There's nowhere to go. What can I do? And
I was telling you about Harvard. That's when you.
We talked about Harvard.
So listen, it's a brazen heist. It's a new round of tariffs is about to hit the economy, and the stock market is down. So let's show you the chaos that is happening. This is a tweet that shows all the last chaos in the 24 hours. Really, it should be the next 24 minutes. This one, as soon as AP put this tweet out, it was null and void because something else has happened. 25% tax on Apple products while singling out the CEO for retribution, 50% tax on European goods, expulsion of foreign students, bill passed with most debt in history.
Cutting Medicaid.
Yet while hosting a dinner for people who gave you $300+ million, all within 24 hours, the golden age. Do you agree with Ron Filipowski on that?
I mean, again, I keep going back, and I know I'm trying to be funny, but it's really not funny. We say in the last 24 hours, and I keep saying the last 24 minutes because an hour feels like a second right now. It's very, very frustrating because these are all dreadful, destructive things he is doing. And completely, thank you so much, enriching himself once again using the cryptocurrency to enrich himself personally. It's like the Qatari plane. Again, it's just, there's so much to do. Where do you start? And I think that's the big question is every day it's something bigger, worse, and more destructive. Where do we all start? We're all Americans. He's going to cut Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, the things he absolutely swore that he would never touch. Well, the new tax bill says different.
He promised to never touch them. As a matter of fact, there was something I was looking for. I think that was Marco Rubio back in the day. And Republicans were all saying the same thing back in the day. We will never, ever touch Medicaid or Medicare or Social Security. And then all of a sudden, they're touching Medicaid,
all of it,
and Medicare. Let's put up the New York Times thing. We'll talk about that, and then we'll get to the tariffs. This is a New York Times article talking about this crypto dinner that happened last night. Yeah, yesterday, and it was
in Virginia.
It was at one of his golf courses. So hundreds joined Trump at an exclusive dinner with dreams of crypto fortunes in mind. Look, I know when people hear crypto, their eyes kind of glaze over. But what this shows is that as the American people are going to have cuts in social services that they relied on, right? We call it our social safety net in order to make ends meet, take care of their health or whatever. Not everybody is as rich as Trump. So America is getting poor. Prices have not gone down.
No, they've gone up, actually.
As he's promised, right? And he is making more money off of a meme coin and a crypto coin after he got all the American people who supported his campaign to pay for his fucking legal bills. How is this possible?
Well, let's not even include what CBS is about to pay him for the settlement. And it all goes to him personally, or his foundation, or his maybe presidential reelection fund.
I think Cynthia's right. Let them eat cake. Scroll up on this article. Go ahead. Do you think Cynthia's right?
I do. I think this is just, it's so out of hand. I did say to Don, the frustration, I think, for all of us watching and listening and all of us out in the world is, where do we start? It is so intrinsically corrupt. every aspect of the government, the Supreme Court, Harvard suing. Who are they going to end up going to? They're going to end up going to the Supreme Court. Who's the Supreme Court going to side with? And that's
Donald Trump.
Frightening thing is we have no recourse anymore. Let them eat crypto. I love that comment.
Let them eat crypto. Margaret Kellner for the win. You get the apple. I think we have an apple here somewhere. President Trump gathered Thursday evening at his Virginia golf club with the highest paying customers of his personal cryptocurrency, promising that he would promote the crypto industry from the White House.
Like he promoted Tesla from the White House. These are all completely unethical and corrupt venues to do.
It was in Virginia. It was held at the Trump National Golf. By the way, there were protesters outside calling this event historic corruption of the presidency at his suburban golf course in Virginia, suburban Washington, D.C., where Trump flew from the White House on a military helicopter. You're paying for it. Turned into an extraordinary spectacle as hundreds of guests arrived. Many have flown, having flown to the United States from overseas. This is crazy. Now imagine if Biden or Obama had done this. Can you imagine? But her emails, all that shit.
We can't imagine any of this because look how I don't need to use this word, killing Biden over not announcing. Who knows when he found out that he has this cancer? It's a horrific, horrible, painful thing. And yet MAGA and the rest of the Republicans are turning it into a conspiracy. Can you imagine if Obama announced he had prostate cancer and it had spread to his bones and people came out against him because they said he knew for years and didn't tell anyone, and that's on top of the dementia that he allegedly has.
What about the dementia Donald Trump allegedly
has? Donald Trump is a whole different story. I'd love to see the results of his tests that he took. What's a cow? Wow, it looks like a giraffe.
So since you're talking about that, first of all, I want to get over this cryptocracy thing. Caroline Levit responding in a press briefing, being asked about this dinner. Here it is.
Thanks, Caroline. Back to the presidential gala tonight. Did anyone in the White House or in the White House counsel's office advise the president against holding this sweepstakes, whereby the people who spent the most money on his Trump coin would then have access to the president at this dinner?
Again, the president has been asked about this. He has addressed this. I have also stated previously from this podium that the president is abiding by all conflict of interest laws that are applicable to the president. And I think everybody, the American public, believes it's absurd for anyone to insinuate that this president is profiting off of the presidency. This president was incredibly successful before giving it all up to serve our country publicly. And not only has he lost wealth, but he also almost lost his life. He has sacrificed a lot to be here, and to suggest otherwise is frankly completely absurd.
Enough.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
It's all a conspiracy. Yes, the president has addressed ethics considerations, just like in accepting the Qatari plane, which I can only hope is a spy plane for the Qataris. The point is, the level is so deep. Of course she's going to say that. It doesn't matter. And now they've all taken Trump and Caroline Levit to embarrassing reporters, particularly from the linear news media, and saying that they're stupid, they're not informed. And you know what? It no longer matters. If I were a reporter right now in the White House having to listen to Caroline Levit drone on, I would just completely ignore her and I wouldn't care what they said. I'd view it as a compliment because no one is standing up to what is really going on. And these reporters are doing the best they can in a very ridiculously complicated, corrupt situation.
Well, I don't think any real news ever comes out of that.
No.
This is all a show.
Other than lies.
Other than lies.
That's it.
So, and the reporters who are behind the scenes doing the hard work, right? That's where the actual news comes from. Yeah. I've been saying this since this Caroline Levit took over, and even before that, this is going to be a show. Everything that happens in that briefing room is a show and a lie. She doesn't care what she says. someone tells her in her ear when they ask you this, the president is abiding by all laws, whatever. She goes, the president is abiding. It's just like
he is abiding by all the laws he created for himself.
Yeah.
And his cronies.
I think they could be. I do think that the media could be a little bit tougher. Yes, it is a very tough environment.
Yeah, but then they attack. But then he attacks NBC News and says you're stupid. He literally
you're a terrible reporter.
It's like the whole thing that went on with the South African president, which was horrifically embarrassing. Forget about Donald Trump. He's an embarrassment, but for our country. It's just none of what I really believe the majority of Americans don't go along with this. I really believe that. I have to believe that. But it's what are we going to do about it?
One more thing. I don't know if you can stomach this one. This is
I'll try.
Kevin Hasset on the White House lawn speaking to my former colleague Pamela Brown over at CNN about this crypto dinner. Remember, this isn't about crypto. This is just about the grift that is taking Americans' money, and then him adding to enriching himself and lining his own pockets.
I'm going to just ask you about this dinner tonight. President Trump is going to host hundreds of people who purchase millions in his meme coin. Today, you heard the press secretary, Caroline Levit, say that he's doing this in his personal time, at his private club. But tomorrow, the top 25 people who spent the most money on his meme coin are eligible for a private tour at the White House. Are you comfortable with this dinner and these tours, which are likely to go to a number of wealthy foreigners?
Everything that the president's done has been carefully scrutinized by White House counsel, and they've given him the guidance that that's okay, and that's enough for me.
So, but what do you say to Americans who are watching this and who are concerned that the president is sort of using the office to enrich himself with a business and having this dinner with foreigners who are giving all of this money, and the White House is not even releasing a list? Do you understand why Americans are concerned? What do you say to them?
Look, the American people voted for President Trump because they know that he puts America first. He's putting America workers first. That's why we're getting the 17.
We're good.
I mean, all it is they're all responding to the canned response, which is everything the president does is according to the rules of his general counsel has told him, according to ethics considerations, and it's all bullshit. Oh, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can say
it's
bullshit.
All bullshit.
You can say bullshit.
And we all know that.
Whatever.
It's all. And what was Lamar Odom doing?
Oh my gosh!
I don't even understand
why
that.
Is Lamar Odom?
Well, does he have any money?
I guess
from
he still
all the
has
money he spent on drugs.
I guess he still has some
And
money, or maybe he's
rehabs?
investing in crypto. A lot of the professional athletes are crypto investors. We were talking this morning. This whole crypto thing and the way they're defending it. It's all bro culture. Crypto is like a dude thing that came about. That's mostly dudes.
Welcome to America. It's mostly dudes anyway, mostly white dudes. Sorry, as a white woman who's had it in my face, I can say it is a bureaucracy run by middle-aged white dudes. That's what this is. Or, and I should say in Donald Trump's case, old Altacockers, which is a redundancy, who are running the universe.
I love that. I love when you speak Yiddish. Altacocker. The thing about Yiddish, what is it? What is it? Somebody let me know. What is it when a word sounds exactly like what it is? What do they call it?
I don't know the literal meaning, but it's like an old.
It's an old.
Who's out of touch.
Yeah.
Which is, what? Ding, 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 ding. Thank you, Katie. I agree. It is ding, 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 and we all know it. This is the saddest part. I believe if we really got down in the dirt and asked people how they felt about losing their Medicaid, potentially Medicare and Social Security, I would say, including the MAGA folks and the Republicans, no one is going to be happy about that. That's their base who live on that. I'm on Medicare. I'm 67 years old, believe it or not. Good facelift at age 56. But it still holds a couple fillers every here and there. But what I'm saying is that no one wants to lose those benefits. Those are the only thing Trump promised, which, like everything else he says, is meaningless.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, Thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support.